As the demands on water resources continue to grow, actors in the water, sanitation and hygiene sector are faced with critical questions like how to ensure adequate water quality, how to protect sources from pollution, how to minimize the impacts of water abstraction and wastewater pollution, and how to ensure and sustain adequate water supplies for domestic use and production. Finding answers to these questions and putting in place processes that lead to sustainable solutions is quickly gaining importance.
There is no way you can realize WASH without closing the loop to where water comes from and which type of water. So both elements of quality and quantity have to be considered under this WASH. You may tell people to wash their hands before eating, but when they are using highly contaminated water, that does not make sense. So we close in with the IWRM to make sure that the water they are getting is clean and also in good quantities.
There is a wide range of interventions to improve integrated water resources management, which are expected to lead to sustainable water supplies and sanitation services. One of them is the watershed program that has been implemented in the Rwenzori Region in western Uganda since 2017.
WASH and IWRM are mostly to do with how resources are governed. If resources are distributed fairly, if they're very well taken care of, if there is an open and transparent system through which water resources are managed, then you can be assured of water, sanitation and hygiene services, which is embedded in SDG 6. So we need to address governance challenges. And so this watershed program is focusing on the area of governance, improving governance in integrated water resources management and effectively WASH services.
This is a section of River Semiliki in Rwenzori sub-county in Toroko district, western Uganda. It forms part of the border between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is an important water catchment and a lifeline to thousands of subsistence farmers in the districts of Bundibujo and Ntoroko in Rwenzori Region. A herd of cattle is on the march to partake of the waters of this sluggish and turbid river. From time immemorial, livestock and human beings have shared Semiliki River, partaking of it side by side. River Semiliki is the only reliable source of water for domestic use and animal husbandry. Some people also use the river for a toilet and others for laundry. Frequent watering of animals has often left the riverbank degraded. Indeed, the water is not safe.
We are using basically this water here for everything. For our animals, for us to drink, for us to bathe, for us to use for cooking.
The situation in Bweramule demonstrates the need for sustainable and effective management of water resources, which is crucial for water, sanitation and hygiene services. Efforts to provide boreholes and water from shallow wells have not been effective because the water has high saline levels. It is difficult to construct pit latrines because of weak soils. Hence, latrine coverage is just 20% and open defecation is a major health hazard. During the rain season, the area becomes a floodplain, leading to contamination with E. coli and other waterborne diseases like cholera and typhoid.
The need for multi-sectoral cooperation and planning so that we see some of these come up. Actually, it is better explained through integrated water resources management. Some of the issues are really upstream, like you may realize what actually happens where the water comes from, and then midstream activities also can impact, because here where we're in the floodplain of the Semiliki, actually at the very last end where the Semiliki enters, it forms a delta as it enters the Kalbat. So around this area, you may find some of the challenges that are being faced here are a result of what is happening upstream and midstream.
Further afield in Kamwenge district, Mahoro landing site is bustling with business activity. Located in Mahero sub-county on the shores of Lake George, the landing site is host to thousands of people who come to trade in fish and undertake other business activities. Lake George is a source of water for domestic use. Just like in Bweramule, this water resource is also used for activities like bathing, laundry, and watering animals. Indeed, sanitation, hygiene, and clean water are major challenges here.
Abajese batakizire tukaba tulina obuzibu bwingi munonga omwanya ogwona bakaba nibaniyamu ayitwa abakazi abasuubuzi ebyenyaza bakaba baguriza hansi kandi omuntu ebyenyaza abiteeka amazi garahari egikompawundi egi yona ekali mazi gonka bakiremerwa bakwata amaato baza omu maizi kupamayo.
Water users who depend on Lake George stand a further risk of consuming water already contaminated by the upstream activities on River Mpanga. The river originates from Karangura sub-county in the Mount Rwenzori areas of Kabarole district. It flows through Kamwenge district and drains into Lake George. This river supplies 8,000 households or just 54,000 people in Fort Poto municipality alone. Karangura forms the upstream part of the river Mpanga. Agriculture is the key economic activity with large expanses of banana plantations dotting the undulating hills. However, destructive agricultural and land use practices have gradually led to the loss of fertile soils through erosion. These destructive practices also cause siltation in River Mpanga, which leads to reduced quantities and quality of water for agriculture and domestic consumption.
If water is not managed well upstream in Karangura, meaning that the consequences will be felt by the people of Karangura, the people of Fort Poto, the middle stream and the lower stream in Kamwenge.
Bweramure, Mahero and Karangura demonstrate the inextricable linkage between water sanitation and hygiene services and water resources management. Water for domestic use and agriculture production is drawn from and returns to water resources. The introduction of the IWRM approach is simply to ensure that water resources are managed effectively, paying attention to the most important aspects and involving all key stakeholders.
We need to make the catchment management plan through a highly consultative process of all the stakeholders so that all the interests of the stakeholders in that particular catchment are taken into consideration.
A wide range of government and non-government stakeholders have undertaken interventions to integrate water, sanitation and hygiene with integrated water resources management. This ensures that water resources are managed effectively and citizens get to enjoy clean, safe water. Along the Semuliki riverbank, the joint effort to save the environment, JESE, has worked with communities to restore vegetation, create a buffer and set up specific watering points for cattle.
What we are doing is, first of all, creating a platform where government, CSOs and the community are getting together to do planning together, joint planning. We are also doing putting into practice the catchment management plans that have been set by the government through the ministry, but also working closely with the ministry arm, which is the Albert Water Management Zone, the community and the district, to see that really we get a common solution to the problems of the Semuliki.
Given that the quality of water available in Bweramule will require time to improve, some organizations have introduced low-cost treatment technologies at household level.
Ebitongere bituyambire miringo nyingi. Bituyambire byatuletera obusoha ntunywa amaizi amarungi, byatusubira itaka ntulema, byatukwatira naitu tube tutaine sengenge byatusubira. Nitaka letu kugenda muno na muno abantu abanyakwirira haihi n'enyanja. Bibendigenda muno bitatu bibalisibe bisoro tubikurubatai. Ntusime bikitongole kyebala muno mulimo gukora.
As a result of JESE interventions, local communities are now engaged in efforts to protect their water sources. Buffer zones are now being set up to prevent the degradation of the banks of River Semuliki. Shallow wells are being identified in suitable areas to provide clean, safe water. Plans are in place to gazette specific places along the river banks for livestock to access water. In Mahoro Kamwenga district, Jesse has worked with the community at the landing site to improve management of the lake shores and ensure clean and safe water and sanitation for the local population. Particularly, they've tried to improve the drainage infrastructure and fenced off some parts of the landing site to restrict the entry and movement of livestock. Jesse also constructed a slaughterhouse, a fish slab and cleaning unit to provide for hygienic handling of fish. In addition, 2 public toilets were constructed in order to end defecation in the lake and on its shores. All these efforts were aimed at providing infrastructure to ensure proper waste disposal and to reduce contamination of the lake, the only source of water for domestic use and animals.
Omulimo gwe yatukolire n'ogw'amaanyi ekabanza atombekera sirabu ez'abantu kulebeka ng'amateka y'ebyenyanza ebyo.
Jesse has implemented similar interventions at Kayinja landing site, also on the shores of Lake George. To control soil erosion and the silting of River Mpanga, the Albert Water Management Zone has worked with farmers in Karangura to create water infiltration systems, grass bands on the hillside gardens, agroforestry and woodlots. With controlled soil erosion, the soils are more fertile and there is reduced silting in the river. Farmers are already enjoying a bountiful harvest from their plantations.
Ebitali birungi omukuzooka habwokuba itaka lyejaga n'amaizi niritwara baitu hati nambe tutandikire bino hariho embaganiza nkooto muno norore ekitooke kyakubere kali kati nikiba kikooto hati buri kutema ebitooke bitano omwana fizo zimazire kukira kara tohemugo obutooke butaito muno buti n'ebyokulya tibiri bingi baitu hati turi kurungi muno obwire bw'omusana gano amaizi agwanya kukwasirwe n'emikuru egi gabaga kyalo n'ebikyanywa kurungi muno.
While there are numerous ongoing efforts to manage water resources even beyond the Rwenzori region, actors still face a number of challenges.
And most of those challenges, as you saw, are to do with the mindsets of the members of the community, financing of the interventions that need to be undertaken, but most importantly, governance. We realize that WASH and IWRM are mostly to do with how resources are governed.
While the watershed program focuses on Rwenzori region, the experiences and lessons will be shared at national and international level.